Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you've tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Presented by Shelter Insurance Agents Grant Baker in Aurora and in Lockwood. See Sean Holman. Title sponsor here is Central Bank of the Ozarks, locations around Southwest Missouri. Certainly glad that you are here. And we go down to Seneca, Missouri, home of the Indians, and head coach Cody Hilburn, 8-4 on the season, district championship. And Coach, thanks for being part of the show today.
Thanks for having me on.
Coach, let's go back and talk about those last two games in districts. You guys obviously were not the one seed in the district coming into that. You get Aurora, who was the one seed. You win 13-12 there in a nail biter. Tell us a little bit about that contest.
Yeah, we knew Aurora was an extremely physical football team. Won the Big 8 East, and kind of what we hung our hat on going into that week was, we played in the Big 8 West. There were 4 teams out of the Big 8 West playing in district championship games, so we felt like we had seen kind of the best of the best. And although that Aurora was a very good football team, we had already seen some good football teams. We were battle tested, and we felt like we knew it was going to be a physical football game, but we had seen that already. So we didn't think it was going to be anything out of the norm from what we'd already seen. We just had to execute. And in that first half, we just couldn't get any momentum going our way. Aurora is a team that once they're in 4-down territory, they're really tough to get off the field with what they do offensively. And we could never swing the field possession, and offense, we didn't really get going. So we're down 12-0 at halftime. But our kids weren't in panic mode. We'd kind of been there a few times this year and kind of explained to them we weren't doing anything necessarily wrong. We didn't have to make a ton of adjustments. We just need to come out, and we got that ball coming out, and we were able to drive down and score that opening possession of the second half, and it just kind of changed the mood of the sideline, and the momentum kind of swung there, and we were able to finish late.
Going into that district title or that district postseason, folks ask me all the time, who's going to win this district? Who's going to win this? And they talk about Aurora being the one seed. And I said, I just don't think Aurora's going to win that district. But it wasn't Seneca. I thought your next opponent, Mountain Grove, was going to win that coming out of the SCA. And like you said, you played in the Big 8 West, and you had 4 teams in district championship games with yourself, Lamar, McDonald County, and Nevada. And so you guys were battle tested as well. Tell us a little bit about that. You win 24-18. It's a touchdown game.
Yeah, that was another really good football team. Their quarterback, who's just a junior, runs that offense extremely well. And we kind of hang our hat on being able to make a team one-dimensional. But when we watch them on film, they wanted to line up and run the ball at you. But if you were able to stop that, they were very comfortable spreading you out and throwing the ball. That quarterback was completing 71% of his passes. And so we thought, well, maybe we're catching a break here on a cold night and the wind's blowing. And it affected us, but it didn't seem to affect that kid at all. He did a really good job, and it was just another game that I keep saying, I guess our kids are just so used to playing in these close ball games that they don't flinch. I'm a nervous wreck, but they seem to be pretty comfortable playing in that situation. And our defense made 3 consecutive stops in a row in the fourth quarter to get us a win there. So another tough game, and we were just fortunate to come out on top at the end.
Again, visiting with Seneca Indians head football coach Cody Hilburn. And coach, as you go in now to week 13, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but you're taking on a Mexico team that's 9-2 on the season. They're coming off of a big win over a pretty good Blair Oaks team. What do you know about Mexico, and what are you going to have to do there to come out on top?
Well, we told our kids after we going into the district championship, when we knew it was going to be cold, we felt like our system was built to win in November. We want to run the ball, and we want to stop the run defensively. I think a Mexico team's a lot like that. They want to run the football, and then they are physical in the box, stopping the run game. They're a flex bone team similar to Aurora, but they have 2 dynamic wing backs that can get out and go. And once they get in space, they are tough to catch, and they're tough to tackle. So they're run first, but they're extremely explosive in what they want to do.
Now, this game will be played on your home field down to Seneca, and I've played there, being a Mount Vernon graduate. Always a tough place to play. You guys get great support down there. Tell us what that means just to have that game at home.
Well, it's huge because we knew being the 4 seed, we got the opening round of the district at home, and we didn't know. And we told those guys that night we didn't know if we'd ever come back on that field this year. And we told our seniors this could possibly be the last time you put on the red jersey and get to play in what we think is one of the better atmospheres in the state. And and even after winning the district championship, we kind of felt like Blair Oaks was the favorite going into that game, and if they would have won, we were going to travel again. And then to come off, and before I got to talk to the team, someone whispered, to me that, hey, Mexico won, we're coming back home, and get to announce that to the kids and the community that all gathered around. It was a pretty cool thing to see. The kids are excited. The community's on fire, and every building in town's already painted up, and tickets went on sale today or yesterday, and the place is pretty excited.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, for the folks listening or watching here at MissouriSportsNetwork.com. Tell us just a little bit about your background, where you went to high school, college, and where you cut your teeth at the coaching profession.
Yeah, I went to college and played 4 years at Missouri Southern, and actually was fortunate enough to stay on staff and coach tight ends for 1 year at Missouri Southern. But I'm a Seneca graduate, so I'm coming back home here. And my last 10 years I'd spent at Carthage as the offensive coordinator, working under Coach Cody in a place that I loved. I loved working and going through a few coaching opportunities that I have. I had finally settled in and told Coach Gotti, the only place that I probably consider is going back home to Seneca. And no more did I get that out of my mouth. And Coach McFarland, resigned and decided to go back to Webb, and it came open. And it was one of those things that I almost cringed because I didn't know if I was ready to go back, just because I enjoyed what I was doing so much. But my family's from here, my wife's family's from here, and we couldn't pass up the opportunity. So we came back, and to have this happen our first year back, go win a district championship, it's pretty surreal.
Yeah, coming out of the 4 seed nonetheless.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, very good. Well, tickets have gone on sale and everything's ready to rock and roll. You guys pretty healthy? I mean, I know it's week 13, but
yeah, we are for the most part, and we tell our kids nobody feels great right now. We're into that point in the season, so just normal wear and tear, but nothing serious. We should have our full roster ready to go on Friday night.
You bet. Well, Coach Hilburn, thanks so much for being part of the show. I know this is our first opportunity to get to visit, and hopefully you guys come out on top, and we'll do this again next week.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Hey, you bet. You're listening to and watching Missouri Sports Network here at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Keep it right here